Of all the fights, you've had 50. Who would you say was your toughest opponent?
You got guys that punch hard and hit hard, and you got guys that come out and win a few rounds. But nothing really was tough.
Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. He stops the bout. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Castillo got robbed.
Max Kellerman is leaving no doubt about where he stands. Known for his sharp analytical mind, he didn't just offer a new take. He went off challenging directly one of the sport's most recognized figures, and in doing so may have just ignited a firestorm dividing fans and forcing everyone to question what they thought they knew about the sport and its greats.
How many wins he got? I said he got like over 150 wins. He stopped for me. He said, well, who got more championship titles? Me or him? I said, hold on, Floyd. He said, answer the question. I said, Floyd, there's more titles now than then. There was just one then. That's no fair. Answer the question. I said, okay, you. Do I not have 28 titles? And I was just like, I don't know. He said, oh, you're supposed to be the expert. But the reason why I said that is because there's minor and major titles. Who else greater than me? I said, Henry Armstrong, Roberto Duran. He said, oh my God. He said, you said something about Pacquiao. Yeah, I said, I think you'll beat Pacquiao every day of the week, but I think he had a greater career. He said, you ain't think Pacquiao was on steroids? I said, he didn't fail any tests, Floyd. He said, look at me in my eyes. I can't say, man, he didn't. He said, oh man, you fake. I saw that as a initiation. This is what you about to get. Nobody's greater than Floyd. My thing is, he should feel that way, but you can't expect everybody to feel that you're the greatest.
He has been vocal and brutally direct in his mission to dismantle the legacy of Floyd Mayweather. He's making it clear that in his eyes, there is a new undefeated king.
It's wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time.
Oh, yes.
That makes a difference to people.
Who deploy a fight that was on his level when he fought? Only Canelo. That's it. Don't give me that stuff about the other guy that was going to prison. Cotto, an all-time great? No. Cotto's an all-time Puerto Rican great. You waited till Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez before you fought him. If you'd have fought him 4 years ago, it'd have been something. Because both of y'all were here. We'd have found out who the best was. He fought Shane Mosley at 38 years old, and it still was a good fight while he left. Shane almost took him out at 38. He fought Oscar De La Hoya at an old age. My point is, you didn't do it the right way. You know that. Who else did you fight besides them biggest, best two names you could pull up? I'm just saying, Floyd never fought nobody.
It all started with whispers, the kind that always follow a legend like Floyd Mayweather. Even in retirement, his shadow looms large over the sport, and his words carry immense weight.
Provided everyone unrealistic expectations. You could win every fight, basically never get hit, and make all the money. it's not going to work like that for the most part for everybody, you know? Like, it literally only went that way for one guy.
I love Floyd, but it seems like everybody's afraid to have that O, to have a 1 or 2 where the O used to be. Ali follows.
When discussions about the current pound-for-pound king, Terence "Bud" Crawford, reached a fever pitch, Mayweather's camp began making noise, seeming to subtly question the modern era's top dog. This wasn't a formal challenge, but a series of calculated remarks designed to remind everyone who still sat on the throne. But what was once a typical move from the Mayweather playbook unexpectedly triggered an avalanche. Max Kellerman, a man who has analyzed Floyd's entire career, heard the call out and responded with a ferocity no one saw coming.
Fighting everyone right up until the point where he started to make money. But as much credit as you get for making, the primacy of business, for making business your priority, well, that comes with trade-offs, because when you make business decisions constantly, sometimes your athletic achievements won't be regarded in the same way as if you made athletic achievements your priority. That said, Mayweather has accomplished a tremendous amount athletically, but the three fighters he didn't fight, Antonio Margarito, Manny Pacquiao, when he was obliterating De La Hoya, Hatton, and Cotto, and Shane Mosley when he still had something left. And while he will wind up fighting Pacquiao and Mosley, it'll both be, at the right time for Floyd. That said, what about at the right time? Floyd, he's also ancient. A fighter approaching 40, fighting at the level Mayweather is fighting, is unheard of. Mayweather, until recent times, would be considered one of the greatest older fighters. That would be the whole story. Oh my God, can you believe how old Mayweather is? It's a little bit unfair to Floyd to say, well, you're picking these guys at the right time. Floyd is...
This wasn't the measured historical perspective fans were used to. It was raw, unfiltered, and it was about to turn the entire boxing world on its head. The first bombshell dropped when Kellerman directly addressed the comparison between Mayweather and Crawford. Instead of paying homage to Floyd's flawless record, he threw down the gauntlet with a statement that left jaws on the floor. He argued that Terence Crawford, with his relentless pursuit of the toughest challenges, has already built a stronger, more compelling legacy than Mayweather. Kellerman painted a picture of two completely different philosophies. He described Mayweather, particularly after leaving the lightweight division, as a master strategist, not just in the ring, but outside of it. A fighter who carefully curated his resume, picking and choosing when he fought certain guys, often waiting for them to be past their absolute prime.
Ricky Hatton, who YouTubed Ricky Hatton, turned YouTube into a verb, what he did to Ricky Hatton, and then destroyed Cotto, and before that, and then just the way he beat De La Hoya even before that,
Well, De La Hoya was old, though.
Sure, but Mayweather fought those guys basically at the same point in their career that Pacquiao did, before them. Okay. And the reason that Mayweather-Pacquiao fight was hyped up to the extent that it was, is that, boy, Mayweather's this all-time great, and Pacquiao is doing these guys even worse than Floyd is doing them. Everyone wanted to see that fight. That Pacquiao's been gone for a long time. So why don't fighters retire?
He didn't just imply it. He said it outright. But then, he turned to Crawford and his tone shifted to one of pure reverence. He spoke of Bud as a throwback warrior, a man who actively sought out danger, who wanted all the smoke all the time.
That's right.
Wow. That's cheating.
I love it.
That is cheating.
That's a heel turn.
You the boss.
That
I love
is heel.
it.
That's a heel turn.
I love it. You do that far.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Roy at his peak. Just remember this. If Roy would have retired after the Ruiz fight, he would have replaced Sugar Ray Robinson as the greatest fighter of all time.
I agree.
Right? But he didn't, and the rest of that stuff is in there, right? So I get it. But Roy at his peak, I think, had a higher peak than anyone on this list.
I agree.
Okay, Manny Pacquiao, we've all said it a million times. I think he is, outside of Sugar Ray Robinson, I have Manny Pacquiao's second greatest pound-for-pound fighter ever. Floyd Mayweather never lost. And did he cherry pick when and where? Yes. But guys, from 130, 135, he cleaned out 135. He beat the best guy at 130, beat the best guy at 135. Yes, did he pick and choose at 140, 47, and 54? Yeah, but he won all those fights.
That's right.
And he beat a lot of good fighters.
50-0.
And more than that, put Floyd at his best in with anyone through history. You do not know who wins. Floyd Mayweather beat Manny Pacquiao, it's true. Floyd is one of the top 10 greatest pound-for-pound fighters who ever lived. Tough to argue otherwise. But pound for pound, he can't be above Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao was a flyweight champion. Not that he turned pro at flyweight. He was good enough as a flyweight to be the lineal champion, the real champion. Now, he didn't win titles in every division. He skipped some of these, but I just want to tell you how flyweight, junior bantam, junior feather, junior light, junior welter,
He's rapping again.
Junior middle.
He rolling.
And he laid waste to these divisions. Yeah. He fought great fighters. He never ducked anybody.
Mayweather, no disrespect at all to him. He's one of my favorite fighters growing up. Love watching him fight. Perhaps the greatest boxing business person of all time. Yeah. Look at actual boxers in the business. But I don't want to see many fighters come out of retirement. He's done everything he can do. He's one of the best fighters of all time.
He pointed to Crawford's demolition of Errol Spence Jr. and his masterful victory over Canelo Alvarez as undeniable proof. In Kellerman's eyes, that willingness to face anyone anytime wasn't just admirable. It was the very essence of greatness. And it was something he claimed Mayweather's later career lacked. That alone would have been enough to start a war. But Kellerman was just getting warmed up.
Fired the referee in the middle of the bout. He stops the bout. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Because he's the promoter also.
Well, I guess. I mean, also, it's Floyd Mayweather. Like, what's the referee going to do? Floyd throws this punch, and he's 100% correct. The punch landed the side of the head. It's a right hook. It's a perfect punch. And the referee was saying, watch the back of the head. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That wasn't the back of the head. And so he kicks the guy out. And they bring in a different referee who finishes the fight. It was insane.
But to truly grasp the tension behind this debate, you have to understand that this isn't the first time Kellerman has gone all in against Floyd Mayweather. For years, their careers have been linked by one of the most infamous predictions in modern boxing history, a professional ghost that still haunts Kellerman to this day. Long before the historic super fight with Manny Pacquiao, Kellerman was the loudest and most respected voice predicting Mayweather's imminent downfall. He famously and repeatedly claimed Floyd's legendary defensive style was about to fall off a cliff, insisting that age and wear and tear would catch up to him and his perfect record would finally crumble.
Pound for pound, see, Pacquiao he started as a flyweight champ. Not just he started his career there, he was the champion at flyweight and then moved up. There's so many divisions between flyweight and junior middleweight where he also won a belt. Even the fact that he could compete with Floyd Mayweather, who's a naturally bigger guy and one of the greatest pure boxers, Pacquiao's overall body of work, you could have him second pound for pound behind Sugar Ray Robinson.
How come I'm watching highlights of him knocking people out though, as little as he is, man?
That dude, it's the calves, man. He's got those fast twitchies and those big calves jump in on you and generate a lot of power. Crazy hand speed and power from a southpaw. Really awkward, hard to beat, lightning fast. Pacquiao
He wasn't just predicting a loss. He was forecasting a complete and utter collapse. Of course, that collapse never came. Mayweather went on to dominate Pacquiao and finish his career undefeated, leaving Kellerman's bold prediction to become a meme among boxing fans, a constant reminder of his supposed bias against Money Mayweather. This history adds a critical layer to today's debate, forcing everyone to ask, is his current push to elevate Crawford's legacy a pure, unbiased analysis, or is it the final move in a decade-long chess match? A calculated attempt to retroactively win an old argument by reframing the very definition of greatness itself? Just as the community was reeling from his take on Crawford, Kellerman broadened his attack, aiming at the most sacred cow in boxing, Floyd Mayweather's pound-for-pound status. On a recent ESPN ranking that placed Mayweather at #1 for this century, Kellerman voiced his most profound disagreement. He declared that pound for pound, Floyd can't even be placed above Manny Pacquiao. He argued that Pacquiao's journey from a flyweight champion to a welterweight titan, laying waste to multiple divisions and never ducking a single soul, was a feat of historical significance that Mayweather's carefully managed career simply couldn't match.
Pacquiao wasn't able to make flyweight. He was a flyweight who won the lineal championship. So if that's not the most, or one of the 2 or 3 most impressive things in the history of boxing, the fact that he could move up, give me an example of another flyweight who was the lineal champion, moved up, won a bunch of titles in between, and then was that good as a welterweight. Pacquiao won lineal titles, indisputable, that's the man who beat the man, or else putting belts together. No one had ever done it before, ever. No one ever did that. No one ever came close to dreaming about doing that, and then Pacquiao did it. So the fact that Pacquiao is even competitive with Floyd Mayweather, who's one of the greatest pure boxers ever, do any of us believe that if they were the same size naturally, Floyd would beat Pacquiao? You really think?
And Kellerman wasn't alone in a sea of dissent. Current boxing star Ryan Garcia publicly backed his claim, stating that he too has always ranked Pacquiao above Mayweather.
And you are right, yeah. But he did beat Pacquiao, and nobody has changed the game like Floyd Mayweather.
He mastered the art of knowing when to fight somebody and when not to fight somebody. I mean, he's the best in that game. He's the best in, you know, making money and making all the, you know, the huge fights happen. But why? Because he was timing every single one of them. He never fought nobody really in their prime. He always
after junior lightweight. Junior lightweight.
He changed the game in the worst way possible. You're right. Everybody's trying to protect their own. I had to break that, right, with Tank.
Like, that's one of my idols. Like, I really look up to Pacquiao. Like, people don't know, but like, he's one of the people I look at. I'm like, man, like, this guy is everything I would want to be, you know, as a career, as a fighter, because he did everything, like, you know, with such grace, and he did, you know, put up spectacular fights. He helped out his community. I'm trying to do things similar like that, but me, I'm more of I want to give back to, you know, like the younger generation. I want to help them with like anxiety.
ありがとうございました。スーパーカルム選手ですね。スーパースターとマリンパート選手。
This support from an active fighter added a new layer of credibility to Kellerman's argument, showing the divide exists not just among fans, but within the sport's elite circles. It was a direct assault on the modern obsession with an undefeated record, suggesting that a perfect record might just be a sign of perfect matchmaking, not perfect fighting. The digital world exploded. Boxing forums and Reddit threads, particularly on r/boxing, became digital battlegrounds overnight. The reaction was instantaneous and deeply polarizing. For every fan who praised Kellerman for his courage, there was another who accused him of blasphemy. One viral thread on the r/Bill Simmons subreddit was titled, "Max Kellerman just torpedoed 3 decades of goodwill in the boxing community in the span of a weekend." It was a sentiment shared by many who felt his comments were a betrayal of his long-standing role as a respected boxing historian.
Really say something negative, I could really say something positive. But when it's all said and done, and we all approach situations in a different way. Rather Tank was to win or he was to be on the other side and take a loss, I would have stood right there behind him, 100%. And it's no different from you guys seeing a lot of times Tank vent out on social media, but I'm right there. He's young. So if I'm with you through the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I've always spoke about loyalty.
Nobody would do business with you if you act like this.
But it happens a lot in boxing, though, right?
Oh yeah, because
to be
it's
common in
strategic.
boxing, yeah.
Floyd was telling him all these things.
Floyd's given this counsel to
Yes.
Devontae.
Who do you think is telling him to do the rehydration clauses and not, you know, putting all these stipulations on me? You can't do this, you can't do that. The ring needs to be this size. It's Davis Garcia. It's not. But all these things were all by Floyd. Hey, this kid is different. You're gonna say he is different, and you're gonna say I have no worries on whoever he fights. You're gonna say that. Just spend a week with me. That's all I say. Let's go hang out. Let's do what we do. You're gonna see something, and I'm not here to prove myself to nobody. At the end of the day,
no, bro.
Even though people hate Floyd Mayweather, I love Floyd Mayweather. This guy is almost 50 years old, and he's still like taking pictures with all his watches. When I go on a trip for 10 days,
I take 30 watches with me.
if I go on a trip for 20 days,
I take 10 more watches.
if it's a 30-day trip,
Then I bring out the watch that costs $18 million.
he pulls out like this million.
Others, however, celebrated him. They unearthed past clips pointing to a specific, almost prophetic quote where Kellerman claimed Crawford had been the pound-for-pound best since the night he beat Brady's Prescott. In retrospect, this proved his stance wasn't just a hot take. It was a deeply rooted conviction that had finally been validated by Crawford's recent wins.
How much money could you reasonably walk out of this fight with?
350 million.
$350 million.
Yes.
Wow.
he's like, don't do that. You ain't Mayweather. Derek told me never to do it, and I was like, he'll never admit that, but he did say that.
Where did that come from then?
I was just doing it. Like, I was just like, all right, like, let me see if this works. It kind of did. Like, he really couldn't hit me for 2 or 3 rounds. Then he started figuring it out. And I'm like, forget this. I'm going to go back to being me.